Hello, welcome to the Center for Wellbeing. My name is Kate. I'm a certified Iyengar teacher here at the center. Today I will be teaching you an inversion. Salamba Sarvangasana is shoulder balance, and it's shoulder balance with support. So I'll show three different variations. The first one is the more classic approach to shoulder stand. So I want you to notice the props that I have set up. So I have 4 blankets. I would suggest 3 or 4 blankets. That's for the torso, the shoulders. My sacrum will go here. This is part of what is the supported part of the pose. And I have an extra blanket so my head is not on a hard surface. The last prop is a strap. It helps to keep the elbows in. The elbows go out, the chest collapses, the back collapses. The strap will help to keep the shoulders well placed, the elbows well placed. And the loop of the strap is the distance from shoulder to shoulder. So I want you to notice how I placed myself on the blankets. It's very important that my shoulders are within, at least a few inches in from the edge of the blanket so that when I come into my pose, I don't come off of the support. My strap's ready in my hand. So watch how I roll over. I press down with my arms and I roll back into Halasana, plow pose. Come onto the tops of my shoulders, and then I take my strap just above the elbows. And then notice what I do with my hands. Initially, I take my thumb and index finger parallel or sideways to help scoop the back up, to help lift the back body towards the front body. So as I do that action with my hands, I take one leg first to maintain the extension of the back, extension of the spine, and then bring the second leg up. And then once my legs are up, watch how I turn my hands. So from here, when I turn my hands, this is supported shoulder stand. Take my hands so that my fingers are parallel to the spine. That helps me be more on the outer arms and my weight more on my elbows. So in this pose, it's important to keep the buttocks in and the legs back. To come down, I reverse the way I came into my pose. And then watch how I bend my knees, support my hips, so there's no strain on the back, and I roll down with control. So I move my props to the wall, all the props I used in the previous variation, but now I have an additional prop, which is the chair. So in this variation of Salamba Sarvangasana, it's a great option if rolling over into plow pose is difficult or causes any strain. And also it's an opportunity, this pose offers an opportunity to work on the alignment of extending the back body and bringing the buttocks forward and keeping the legs back. So now the placement of the chair is important because I need to make sure that I can reach the front legs of the chair. So I have my block for my sacrum, all the props I had in the previous variation, and with the addition of being able to hold the legs of the chair. So from here, I raise my pelvis up and get my belt on. Remember, the strap goes just above the elbows. This in itself is a pose. It's 4-limbed Chatushpadasana, like so. And then to come into Salamba Sarvangasana, I can come in one leg at a time as I did in the previous variation, extending one leg. I can do one and then the other, practicing extending the leg up. The extension of the leg is what helps to extend the spine. Take both legs up. And then once again here, if I see myself collapsing, buttocks going back, legs coming forward, I can repose by bending one knee, coming back to the seat of the chair, relifting the back body, relifting the sides of the hips, and reposing in Salamba Sarvangasana with the use of the chair. I reverse my steps coming out, make sure I take my strap off before taking the sacrum back to the block. So this final variation of Salamba Sarvangasana is often called shoulder stand with a chair, or chair Sarvangasana. It's often practiced in a restorative class if you're feeling slightly under the weather, a little lack of energy, want a little bit more of a quieting, restorative pose. This would be a wonderful option. Again, I'm using the chair. You see this is simply for padding, a mat and blanket. And then notice how I take two shoulder stand size blankets. I fold them in half again lengthwise. This is for my shoulders. I keep the chair off of a sticky mat because I want to be able to move the chair possibly and the shoulder support. This part's very important, that I take my legs over the back of the chair. So I'm close enough to the wall. You notice I'm touching my toes on the wall, and then I come so close to the back seat of the chair. My sacrum's going closer and closer to the wall, so when I lie down, when I lie back, the back skin gets some traction, and my shoulder blades can move away from the neck, the low back lengthens and extends, and the sacrum moves away from the waist. I maintain my knees over the back of the chair. I hold on to the sides of the chair and come back slowly. See how my back of my knees are hooked on the back of the chair. So initially the top of my head comes down, and I pause here a moment, get my bearings, and then as I take my chin towards my chest, I come more on the back of my skull, and my shoulders will start to come down towards the support. But you see here, I notice I need my blankets to be a little bit more tucked in so they can move easily on the floor. Now in this variation, also with the support of the chair, there's a little bit less weight on the back of the skull, a little bit less weight on the shoulders and the neck. So when I come down slowly until my shoulders make contact. So you notice here how my hands are on the outside holding on. That's a fine option, especially if there's tightness in the shoulders or there's a broadness in the torso. And if possible, you can thread your hands through and take a hold of the back rungs of the chair. And then from here, I extend my legs and I position myself close to the wall so that when I extend my legs in this manner, my feet are able to rest on the wall. So this is Salamba Sarvangasana with the use of the chair. Now another pose within this pose that can be practiced is taking your feet back to the back of the chair and extending the legs up. This is Viparita Karni. So where the legs are extended up, you're creating a lake effect in the abdominal region. But this is its own pose. This is Viparita Karni. This is Salamba Sarvangasana with the use of the chair. Now when I come down with control. I make sure and unthread my arms. If you've done that, you take them out from the inside the chair. Slowly come down. And then from here, you can move the blankets. And if you want one for your head, and then rest in chair Shavasana. Thank you all for watching my teaching of Salamba Sarvangasana. I hope you enjoyed the teaching. Again, my name is Kate, and I teach at the Center for Wellbeing in Lemont, Pennsylvania.